Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are working on cleaning up a little bit of area over here. It's really not going to be too much more, and then we'll have all of Scandinavia under our control. That is of course fantastic, and oh, that was exciting to zoom in. As we get later and later in the game, it's getting laggier and laggier, and I just don't think there's too much we can do about that other than say, you know, the game's going to be over in just a couple hundred years. So, I mean, our realm is getting large, shall we say. Rather large. We're gonna move these guys down over here where hopefully they aren't taking attrition there either. They just need to resupply. We're going to continue to make our way up northward here, and we'll just make sure that we have armies nearby by heading over like so. Excellent. We don't really want to be taking attrition, but we'll pretty soon get that 18% war score out of there. So that's fantastic. If they want to come down here and stop our sieges, they are more than welcome to do so. We'd be very pleased about that. We're 16 direct vassals above our limit, and that's pretty spicy. There's a lot that we can hand out over here, and that's certainly something that we want to do. We just inherited this war for the County of Mainz. Okay. I'm going to send this force over. What is the actual war goal here? Oh, down here. Okay. That's the war goal. Got it. So yeah, this force, they're just going to come down here for right now. And we'll embark them and send them on over. That'll do. They'll get there eventually. And that's completely fine. So we're going to finish up this siege in 14 days. How are we doing on our castle bailies? We are 15 years out from that. Advanced bow making in 6 years. We don't actually care about advanced bow making though. That'll just get us something else to focus on. So that'll be great. We'll move these guys on upward, so they are nearby our siege force. And of course, these are off to go deal with this situation. So they'll arrive here soon enough. I kind of wish that this river was navigable, but I don't think we have the cultural tech for that. That's okay. We don't need it. We'll get there eventually. We're 97% war score here, so this next siege will end this war. And once they arrive over here, we're not really expecting too much difficulty. So that'll be great, and then we'll need to hand some titles out. No problem whatsoever. Just make our way through here. They are making some rapid progress on this siege. They do have trebuchets after all. Currently at -3 due to their partial occupation. Okay. Well, we'll deal with that soon enough. These guys can come on over here, see if they can catch that force. We are approaching, but we're not going to get there in time. We do have this war over, and so we'll end that. We need to hand out territory, of course. We'll just grant this out for now, and then we will create the actual titles a bit later. There we go. And all of these lads, they're just going to immediately head down to here. They may or may not get there in time to contribute to this war. They actually stopped their siege because they did not want to do this fight. I don't blame them, but they should have finished the siege, in all honesty. At least it would have gotten ticking war score on their side, and this isn't enough troops to contest us, really. So we're going to take this on back. We're at 23% war score right now. This is a level 2 fort. We should be able to siege this with a slow siege very quickly. Yeah, 5 months. That's not too bad to slow siege. In the meantime, our primary troops are on their way over. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea to do this holy war, but okay. If that's what Lower Lorraine wants to do, then I guess that's fine. I'd really like to see our vassals start to clean some of this territory up. That's awkward. Okay, that's not going to go well, but sure. So we're heading on into their capital now. No problem whatsoever. We're going to siege this down very quickly. We didn't raise up any additional troops. This will be just completely fine. So we are going to die fairly soon. We're in poor health right now, but we're doing okay for the moment. Surprisingly, we didn't die to smallpox, and I really thought that we would. Would have been awkward timing for sure, but we have a decent amount of income right now. So no big deal there. And this siege will be done in just 25 days. And 47 for this. So that should get us pretty close to done with this war anyway. I'm not sure if that'll get us all the way. It kind of depends on what we get from capturing here. We'll see. 60%. Okay. Sounds good. So this isn't going to end the war. 30 days on this siege. That'll be fine. We're taking some attrition up here, but that's okay. Okay, our rival died. That's always nice. And we got this back, so we're now at 63% war score. Do we have ticking? We don't have ticking, but it should start now that we no longer have partial loss of control. So that'll be fine. And we're at 77. This siege will be done in 4 years. Well, we'll just swing our way down, and we'll get there soon enough. In fact, we'll probably have this done before then. Ticking is now on our side, and one more siege up here will net us quite a lot, actually. This siege will probably end the war. Probably. I'm not guaranteeing it, but likely. What do we get? Yep, that ends the war. Fantastic. You don't need to walk over there. We are just instead trying to enforce demands here. Perfect. Okay, so those troops get put down. And at this point, we need to find locations like this. This needs to go to West Francia. So we'll grant that over. Excellent. So what are we at right now? 18 direct vassals, too high. Sounds good. This is our vassal. So that should really go into, apparently, Lithuania. Sure. I mean, that's the most nearby king. So that's fine. Now this up here, we're not able to currently take the kingdom because it is the Kingdom of Uppland and Sweden, for that matter. Uppland and Sweden. So that's the thing. We're going to have to go with duchy level titles, which is a bit unfortunate. And can we move any de jure? Yes, we can move a couple de jure. We'll do exactly that. Perfect. Okay, now over here, duchy level. We can't do that. That's okay. That's currently held by our vassal. Cool. I don't think we can take this duchy. No, indeed. This one over here, though, we should definitely be able to create. And so we shall, and that will go de jure to this gentleman. 2 vassals go with. Cool. Okay, now we already know that we're not going to be putting additional kings in here, right? So, I'm just checking. That's the Khanate of Pomerania. Actually, this guy needs more strength. So we're going to grant some vassals to him over here. These duchy level vassals. And some of these county as well. Excellent. That should, in theory, boost his strength levels, but he'll probably want to do some fighting. Because non-de jure and all that. That'll be okay. So that puts us at 7 direct vassals above our limit, which is far better. That is absolutely far better. I'm just checking for some additional locations over here, like this gentleman here. I would like that to potentially go... I mean, Poland is quite powerful over here, although they're not. They should be powerful, but they're not. We're going to grant that over to Poland. Okay, these are our vassals, correct? Yes, and should not be. Let's give those to Poland as well. Excellent. There we go. Sounds good to me. So we're now at 3 direct vassals above. And what else can we hand out? That's Lombardy there. Nothing too major. That is, of course, a Khanate, which is fine. Okay, maybe something over here? No, these are all kings at this point. Ah, yeah, Khanate of Lanka. That really probably should have been put into something else, but okay. I don't really see anything else up over this way. Okay, cool. I think this is about the best we're going to get for right now. We should think about fighting Denmark. We've kind of neglected them, and I'm sure they're sad about that. We do have a de jure claim, but why would we want to do that? We'd love to do a holy war for the kingdom, but that's not going to be a thing. Duchy levels. Single county, single county, single county. 3 counties there. And 4 counties. Technically, this doesn't create additional border gore because we will have a border there. You know what? Let's do it. Sounds good to me. We're going to go ahead and raise our men-at-arms here, and we're also going to raise a few levy troops. How many are we going to raise? Not actually a single one. Okay, let's have both of these stop gathering, and we're just going to raise men-at-arms. Unless they bring anyone else into the war. It'll take some time for the men-at-arms to show up, but that's okay. We will put in this guy as the leader for right now, although we'll want a siege leader later. That'll do just fine. And we can't hand out any rightful territory just yet. They're raising over here. We do require a new spy master, and we'll put in this guy. What? Oh, they walked right over us. Sure. That doesn't actually stop anything. They're just a hostile force. No problem there. We'll just continue raising. And we did lose our steward. So we'll put in that guy. Excellent. Now, we are going to die sometime soon. The question is when. We're getting a decent chunk out of Denmark here. That's great. And we don't actually mind dying, because that means we can go after the Byzantines even harder. We can unlock a new stewardship perk, and that'll be, I guess, Taxman? Not like that's actually super helpful right now. Wait, did they walk over us again? No, this is the same thing. Okay. Sounds good. So we've got 50 days left on our men-at-arms. I'm perfectly content to wait that. Now, we're hoping that our vassals deal with Lower Lorraine and Luxembourg before we get there, but if not, that's okay. We're going to push through this, clean up all of this border gore. We've nearly gotten Scandinavia cleaned up at this point. India, of course, is done. So that is beautiful. We're very happy about that. We're going to bump back up to absolute crown authority before we die. That is actually quite important. Because we want that as a negotiating chip when we die. We want people to be joining Liberty factions over Independence factions, because that will be better. Yeah, they're creating a Liberty faction now. That's not shocking. That's completely okay, in fact. We don't mind that. So we're going to siege this down. This will not net us any ticking war score, but that's okay. Betrothed can marry. We'll go ahead and do it. Sounds good. Betrothed can marry. We'll go ahead and do it. Sounds good. Okay, we can call a dynasty member, but there's no real point. A lot of this there's no real point in doing right now, so we're not going to do it. We don't care about that title. That title is fine to keep. It's all yours. Have fun. This is Pretender Rebels. Okay, so they're sieging this up here while we're sieging this. We're going to go take their progress away from them. That'll be great. Okay, sounds good. We're at 14% war score. That will continue to climb very dramatically. And Denmark is going to lose quite a lot of territory over here. They're still at 0 over here, gathering 430 days. War might be over before they're done gathering. Well, that would be entertaining for sure. We're going to continue to move up over this way. And, do we care about this guy? Not really. We'll get a strong hook on him, but I don't think that matters. Like, at all. 3 months left. Excellent. So we're going to get a good chunk out of Denmark here. Is this the same guy? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. I'd just like to double check these truces for the time being. We have died. We knew that was coming. Okay. So, there's going to be some factionalism. No doubt about it. We want to wrap up this war before the factionalism becomes too major. Now, we have no lifestyle chosen right now. We're going to go into stewardship, and we are going to take, I think, honestly, domain focus. We don't really care that much about wealth focus right now, because we want to boost up our domain limit. So first things first, we should take a look at our wife here who has 8 stewardship. That is not very good. Okay. Problem solved. 22. Sounds good. Well, actually, she's 30. Is there anyone who's similar who's a little younger? No. I mean, that's what concubines are for, so that'll be fine. We'll go ahead and... I mean, that's actually not all that helpful. Okay, we will dismiss her. Excellent. And there we go. Sounds good. Now, we're going to need powerful vassals on our council to help their opinion of us a little bit. We're going to send a gift to this guy to boost up his opinion, and then he'll endorse us a little bit, but not all the way. We're going to work on swaying him. That is very important. Okay, so our most powerful vassal, he should actually be... Well, this guy's a better marshal. Okay, so we'll put these guys in. We may be able to do some negotiations, but for right now, that'll do. We've got some pretty angry people. We need to get our new wife in. That is very important. Okay, there we go. And then we are going to immediately have her go to manage domain. So that puts us at 12 of 11. So we actually need to grant this out to a low noble. I'm not super happy about it, but it'll do. An enemy army here? What? Why does Denmark have troops here? Okay. You're a little far from home there, buddy. But I guess that explains what's going on over here. So these factions, we need to let them regenerate here and determine what their actual size is. We don't yet know. And we want to make sure that our marshal is organizing levies. That's very important. Okay. Cool. Our merc contracts are expiring. That's fine. We will let those expire for the time being. So we can see here that our Liberty faction is not a big deal. A lot of these guys are still in prison, which is good. And our Independence faction here, East Francia, we can just negotiate an alliance with, and we will definitely do that. Any of these that we can negotiate an alliance with, we will outright right now. So let's check through these. Some of these we can, absolutely. And that is really, really good. Just straight up negotiate with quite a number of them. I want to check West Francia. It's very important that West Francia is on our side. Okay, we don't yet have access to that. But there we go. Our son and player heir. We'll probably divorce them later. What could possibly go wrong? Cool. So that'll deal with a lot of that factionalism and buy us a good amount of time. In the meantime, of course, we are continuing our sieges over here. I want these guys selected and then move up over there. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so which one is next? Is that going to be the Liberty faction? No, actually. Populists. Yeah, just populace right now. Now, this independence faction will probably get strong enough. Our soldier count has definitely dropped pretty dramatically from last life. And I think a lot of that has to just do with opinion. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. Let's see. We can negotiate a couple more alliances, and we should definitely do so. Yes, it's going to gain us stress, but that's okay. We'll see what we get for our stress reliever. We should have a mental break here momentarily. Reclusive or irritable? We'll become irritable. What could possibly go wrong? Okay. So yeah, this independence faction is deeply unsurprising. With a succession just happening, we are not shocked by this at all, but let's go through this again. A number of these are new, and we may, in fact, be able to negotiate alliances with them. We'll see. But probably not, in all honesty. But I just want to double check. Okay. So, we're going to... This is inauspicious. This is extremely inauspicious. Okay, there's not much we can do about this lady. Not much at all. We do have a sister available. This doesn't actually help us. We can do something here, I suppose. Yeah, that would work. Get that guy out of there with his 10,000 troops. I like it. That'll get Lithuania out of the faction. Perfect. Okay, let's see about this guy. Maybe. Courtiers and nieces. Okay. Hang on. He's a princess. But not our princess. Okay. So, we need additional bargaining chips. I mean, children. That is definitely a thing. We're probably going to have to fight rebels. I don't think there's too much that we can do about that at this point, since we only have the one child at 23. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be the case. But we'll see what we can do about it. I mean, we shouldn't have a problem fighting this, in reality. We know how these battles go. As in, they don't. We just siege them down very quickly. This siege is taking... Oh, we're on speed 1. No wonder things are feeling super slow. Let's boost that up. I'm not sure when that happened. Should not be on speed 1. There we go. Fantastic. So we've got 6 months here. We're at 64% war score over here. We don't have ticking right now. And this is the Usun Khanate. Yeah, so she's all the way down here. We really do want this war with Denmark to be over before this independence war is declared. Now, the independence war is going to happen. I don't think there's any way around that, and because we just had a succession, that's not surprising. Speaking of our son and heir, we should definitely make sure that he has a stewardship education for that sweet, sweet domain limit. Cool. Our wife is pregnant. That is good. That gives us another bargaining chip. 50 days on this siege here. 4 months. It's not a lot of time, is it? Not a lot of time at all. New people have joined this. I want to double check. Okay. Maybe this guy. No. I want to double check that we can't negotiate with any of these, but I think we already got all of the negotiations that we're going to get for right now. That guy had 2 more, but we'll see. Yeah, just claim title. Okay, sounds good. This is not going to be a thing. We can't negotiate with her. So we can't bounce this faction, and we don't have any female children ready to go here. We could check to see if any of these are unmarried, because we do have 2 nieces. And nieces work, only if they're directly married to the ruler. Betrothed, huh? We're just checking to see if any of these are unmarried. And they are not. Okay. Well, that's exciting, for sure. 32 days to get down to this barony. How much are we getting per siege here? Only like 14 to 20%. That's actually quite a lot lower than I would expect from how the rest of Crusader Kings works, but okay. Or rather, CK3 to be specific. So we have 3 months until their ultimatum. All we need is this war over before this war starts. We're almost certainly going to fight these rebels, and that's okay. We can handle that. No problem whatsoever. We are on absolute crown authority, which is not necessarily helping us here, but it's a bargaining chip for the Liberty faction. This is going to be 3 months on this siege. Oh, wow. That's actually quite a lot longer than I thought it would be. We absolutely need to get a siege leader in here right now. And hope that we get some good siege events. Because they can send their ultimatum in 1 month, and we've got about 2 months to go here. Stalemate. That was not a good event. We do have ticking on our side at this point, but it's not as fast as we need. Dying at that time was awkward. We did just get a small breach there, so that's good. They can send their ultimatum at any time. So at this point, we're just hoping that they hold off for 15 days. We'll see. 10 days? Beautiful. Okay, so this war is over. We'll enforce those demands, disband our troops, and these titles will, of course, get granted on out. We do not want to hold these personally. So we will do something like that, and then we'll need the duchy level title. So we'll grab that, we'll usurp it away. And of course, we do need to boost our prestige. That is something that we should probably do. We'll grant this over to this gentleman here. 3 vassals go with. Excellent. So that puts us at 4 direct vassals above. And this should probably get deposited into one of these kingdoms. Perhaps Lower Silesia. In fact, she's in the faction. So if we grant this over, this won't cause her to leave the faction, to be clear. I was hoping that that would cause her to lose some, or cause the faction to lose some discontent, but that's not a thing. That's okay. Actually, she did leave the faction. Hold up. That's not supposed to work that way. Fascinating. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It is time to put a cut in here, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, this faction is going to pop, and we're going to fight them. We're probably going to immediately start raising, in fact. Right over here. So we'll raise... Actually, not all of our troops. We will instead raise our men-at-arms. It's going to take them 4 months, and we're going to raise our levy troops as well. That is something, of course, that we will deal with next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.